This week on Across the Arrowverse, Supergirl was grouchy, Flash was beardy, the Legends were, well, pointed out to be a bit rubbish, and Arrow was outed. Dun 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 dun. Hi everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host Matthew Vose and I'm joined by Catherine Kay.
Hi everybody.
This week we're discussing the episodes Supergirl, The Girl of Steel, The Flash Reborn, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, A Rubicon, and Arrow, Fallout. Catherine, do you have any overall thoughts on the season premiere of each series?
I thought each episode was okay. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy them. I probably enjoyed each of them, but there were moments in each of them when I was like, what?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there was nothing I think that stood out that went, oh, really good, really pleased to be back and playing in this universe. Yeah.
I mean, I'm pleased that they're starting again, and there's some new characters in each of them that I'm really excited to see where they're going. There's some interesting developments in the plot, but with a few of them I really felt like they'd got to a point at the end of the last season where they were trying to build this big thing happening, and then clearly in the break the script writers have gone, oh, we don't like that, let's just press reset and really wind that up really quickly and then just go in a completely different direction.
Yeah, it really feels like we're just moving stuff on as quickly as we can. So let's kick off with Supergirl. My first note is Adrian Pasdar has rocked up. So we have someone who was in Heroes, one of the main characters in Heroes, Nathan Petrelli, but he's also in S.H.I.E.L.D. as the general who is now in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. And he, as it turns out, has played Iron Man Tony Stark in a lot of the the animated cartoons for Marvel Comics recently. And now he's in DC as a major character.
Yeah, big bad, taking his cues from possibly Damien Dark. Having a great desire to blow up the rundown part of town rather than redevelop it.
Yeah.
But some fun stuff, and I quite like the sinister, hey, if I control the media, it's going to be good for my public image. There's some links into the real world there in my dark conspiracy theory moments.
I also wonder if, because he is a character from the comics, he's an established villain.
Okay.
But would they have used Lex Luthor if they could have? But no, you can't use Lex Luthor because we're supposed to have a good Luthor now. Oh,
I really like Lena. I'm very happy to see that Lena is continuing to play a larger role in the series than she has done when she first came into Supergirl. So I'm a fan of there being more Lena Luthor.
Yeah, I also like the contrast that she's controlling the media and doing things, but she's stepping up and doing what's needed to keep things on the, in inverted commas, good side.
Let's just hope she doesn't have more close relatives who can manipulate her emotions come in and steer her good intentions in a negative direction.
Well, we don't know much about the Luthor family, so who knows? There could be, any number of them from multiverses past. And the global warming comment. So we have established that Cat Grant is now the press secretary. And they have this whole thing of course she understands that global warming is the biggest threat to the world. The president is not an idiot. They're continuing their trend from last season of commenting on modern affairs and politics. A little heavy-handed, perhaps.
Do you know, I didn't even notice that. I was just like, oh, here we go. We've got 30 seconds, which is a little cameo of Cat Grant and a convenient explanation as to why she's not going to be in the series very much.
Yes, true. Yeah, and it's nice. That will give us tie-ins to potentially introducing the political world that they tried last time, but didn't quite pull off. So.
Yeah, but it allows her to pop in, but it means she doesn't have to go up and live in Canada.
Yeah, yeah, and move Harrison Ford up there with her.
Exactly, exactly. Too cynical?
The big thing that I've taken away from Supergirl is that there was a lot of plot going on.
There was, and I think they've dropped in different things. I am waiting for Chekhov's signal watch is what I've got on my note. I'm waiting for that signal watch to be a bigger plot point later in the series, because I genuinely believe that James wouldn't have used it for the purposes he did in that episode, because it did seem a little bit lame. other than to implant the existence of the Signal Watch quite heavily in our consciousness for it to be used later in the series.
Yeah, because they introduced that as something Superman gave him ages ago, and then I don't think we've seen Supergirl giving him one or allowing him to signal her, so that's a very nice point. We will watch out for that in episodes future. So we had all the plots. Supergirl moped around a lot, and eventually came good when there was an action sequence.
I was so relieved that Mopey Supergirl only lasted one episode. I was just thinking, oh my lord, we went through this with Barry Grant and he sulked for at least a series. Is he called Barry Grant? What's he called?
He's Barry, played by Grant.
Oh, there we go. The Flash.
Yes.
We had Mopey Teenage Flash for almost a whole season, which irritated me.
Yeah.
So at least she's over it now.
Yeah, faster than Harry Potter got over it in book 5.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Well, that was tedious.
We had the sale of Catco as a sub thing going on, but being referenced.
Lena.
Absolutely. We had the new villain Bloodsport, who was the one attacking everyone and stealing the missiles and so on.
Do you know, I've totally walked him out of my memory of that episode already.
Well, he was the main plot of stealing the submarine and going to attack them.
Oh, yes. I felt he was disposable, to be honest.
Yeah. And again, a character from the comics who has been fairly disposable, but has recently been reintroduced, and we don't know who he is at the moment. So,
yes.
Nice tie-in there, possibly. We had the wedding, so a bit of actual personal drama between the ladies.
Yeah.
Alex and Alex's other half.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's exactly. I'm afraid I've just called her Alex's girlfriend in my notes. So sorry, character.
And we had the weird dream sequence that also possibly had this new girl, single mother, and the ship being discovered beneath the harbour.
I find those new girls very interesting. That, for me, was probably the most interesting development in Supergirl.
Yeah. And some questions to be raised, which I think they'll probably get to quite quickly. I don't think they would have leaned on quite so heavily the bit of her showing that she was a good mother, but also showing that she had incredible strength. Like, they've done that very quickly, so I think we'll see more about her pretty soon.
Hope so.
But the episode, by and large, was edited to within an inch of its life to fit all these in. There were so many emotional moments, so many moments of comedy that just didn't land because we were instantly into the next scene.
Yeah. I think it was an episode of two halves. I felt a little bit dissatisfied somehow in the first half. There were things that were sped by too quickly, and the way the characters were interacting was not how I wanted them to be interacting. Moody Kara. Yeah. But then somehow I enjoyed the second half of the episode really quite a lot. Okay. And I think part of that was the closeness of the characters and the sense of family of the characters and the turning around of Kara's grief and emotions. And that's the sort of stuff that calls to me. Yeah,
nice. I liked her bit about halfway through, I think, when she was quitting. And she does a line along the lines of, I'm not a human, but I'm better than that. Because I want Supergirl leaning on her extraterrestrial better than nowness. So, moving on, we had Flash, the Flash Reborn. There was a big setup that Barry was now going to be in the Speed Force. He was going to be gone, and the Team Flash was going to have to go on without him. We had Team Flash for at least half the episode, like you say, an episode of two halves, that was almost entirely non-white people. In fact, I think it was non-white people, which, great. This is absolutely the whole series of diversity, but then they all teamed up together and brought him back in a couple of minutes.
That I think the Flash episode is the biggest example of hey, our enormous great problem and plot point is solved really quickly.
Yeah.
Like I thought I really so a number of things that slightly irritated me about it was I really liked the strength and the leadership that Iris was showing at the start, because Iris in the past has irritated the heck out of me.
Yeah.
Like when Iris's role as a character is just to be Flash's love interest and be his unattainable female object of desire, she irritated the heck out of me. Yeah. At the start of this episode, I was loving that, she was hurting, but she was she was in control, she was leading, she had something to do other than be Iris. And then the absolute stupidity of offering herself up as some kind of sacrifice to this samurai robot in the blind hope that Barry would shake off his mental breakdown to come and rescue her. And then I found it really irritating that, hey, that's exactly what happened. And then suddenly these immense psychological issues it was having, he had a bit of a run, had a bit of a fight, and he's all better now. And that can't be it. There's got to be some more ramifications from the tying up of that going into the speed. It's got to be.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I will remain for the rest of this series with a slight chip on my shoulder of that was just stupid.
Yeah, pretty incredulous about what they've done there.
Exactly.
Yeah. A bit like we were saying with Supergirl. There's an action sequence, they get over it and move on.
Yes.
Yeah. I was expecting the Speed Force thing to be like half a season. And it to be... Grant Gustin would be in it as flashbacks, mirages, images, holograms, robots, and then to do that stuff, and then have them learn to adapt. And eventually he comes out and he's a bit different, and they've got to adapt to having him back in. The traditional writing of you let them get over something, then you reintroduce it back in. And I'm just amazed we got there. There is a whole there's a whole series where Barry is gone, and Kid Flash takes over, and we're talking years here, and then he comes back, and the return of Barry Allen is a significant thing. We haven't done that. No, let's just bring him back. We don't know how, we just wanted him back.
So, again, perhaps I'm on the more cynical side of Catherine this morning. Do you think they did some consumer market research over the break that said a significant enough proportion of their audience, one of the key things that they liked about The Flash was the Grant Gustin character? And the money men said, you can't have half a season with virtually no Grant Gustin. We'll lose our advertising revenues, or however these people make money nowadays.
Yeah.
Write him back in, please. Now,
maybe.
I don't know. That's just me. I have absolutely no grounds for believing that's true whatsoever. I just obviously have only had one cup of coffee this morning. I need two before I'm sunny and light.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's not have a major character disappear, or the lead character disappear for a period. Yeah, I get it. We had some new styles abound in this episode. Cisco, his hair down and nicely washed. Wally looking all grown up. Iris not in the Felicity outfits that she generally wears, but in blouse and trousers, looking a bit smart, a bit more professional and gung-ho. I've got West's glasses. Joe in glasses? Oh, Joe in his sunglasses.
Oh, yes.
Rocking up in the big Land Rover with the gun and stuff, looking all action hero.
I like Joe. I like the fact that he's allowed to have a romance as well. It's nice to see people above the age of 25 allowed to find love on TV.
Yeah, especially in The Flash, on CW.
Exactly.
Caitlin looking a bit older and probably coming into herself. They're not trying to age her down anymore. Yeah. And Barry rocking up with his beard. There was a lot of change going on for our main characters. Yeah,
I think I've noted him down as Desert Island Barry.
Nice. Baddie of the week was the samurai in the mask. I was quite pleased to see a new villain in a mask straight away. Like, oh, who could it be? Very exciting. I liked Wally being able to speak Japanese to him straight away, showing some inner depths. Mm-hmm. Any notes on the Japanese? Did it come across well?
Sounded all right to me.
Yeah? He'd had enough coaching, had he?
He'd had enough coaching for it not to be horrendous.
Is it possible the actor speaks Japanese? And so they went to just samurai as a...
Possible. I mean, his pronunciation was not bad, but then I'm not exactly a native Japanese speaker.
I liked having Reborn in the title, and there are a couple of references to that sort of thing, because the big DC Comics event recently has been Rebirth. So Flash is the one that very heavily leans on what's going on in the comics at the moment. So that we had Flashpoint last time, which was the previous major event. Mm-hmm. We've now come through Rebirth, and they're starting to catch up. The potential is they could introduce the Watchmen here. I don't think they're going to, but I would quite enjoy seeing Rorschach rocking around on Arrow or...
I think Rorschach could work in Arrow. Mm. I think he's altogether too dark to be in the happy world of Flash.
Yeah. Maybe the comedian. I mean, they'd definitely love to get in Silk Spectre in her lacy stockings, Teddy outfit.
That's a bit rated R for...
That's possibly more of a Legends thing.
Iris has been reduced to a little bra flash and a little bit of belly, so...
And Caitlin.
Exactly.
And at the very end, we had potential 2 new villains introduced. Amulet? I'm not sure what that was, but just a side reference, and dude with a funny eye, looking all mysterious. And then dude with stuff plugged into his head. We don't know what they're going to be.
Yeah.
I had a thought he might be Brainiac, because he's another character who you see in that sort of style sometimes. Having had a look, no, it's not Brainiac.
Okay.
Which is a shame, because that would have been the build-up to a good crossover with Supergirl if he'd rescued Kandor and her parents from another bit of the multiverse.
Yeah.
I would have enjoyed that. So moving on, we had Legends. 301 is a Rubicon. Last season had a really big setup. Huge amount, dinosaurs, Big Ben in Central City, lots of exciting stuff going on. And that was a great episode dealing with all that and fighting dinosaurs and...
Zip, zap, zoop, done. Although, that's kind of what you do when you've got time travel, isn't it?
Yes.
Don't deal with the problem in real time. Go away.
Absolutely.
Build up your solution in a different time zone and then come straight away and deal with it. So
Absolutely.
That's realistic, but it is also... as realistic as time travel is. Yeah. It's sensible use of time travel. But yeah, that's another one where it's like, hey, but I do think that plot was running away with them. I'm not entirely sure what they could have done with that plot if they'd let it run longer. Because, I mean, there's only so long that you can have dinosaurs running around in New York or LA or wherever they were. And it just...
Central City.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? But yeah, there's only so much you can actually do with that without it start to get a bit silly. Although they might have passed a bit silly a while ago with Legends.
Yeah, but even Doctor Who, when they did almost this exact thing with dinosaurs and Winston Churchill and other people in the modern era, they had an episode and then they dealt with it and moved on.
Yeah.
So, I have to call out the opening. Rip Hunter rocking up and talking about anachronisms, and then having Professor Stein, arguably the smartest person on the team, going, anachronisms?
Yeah.
Like, you have characters on there who are supposed to be not the smartest and be able to ask these things. Why are you giving that line to him? Are you just cycling the lines? Okay, Stein, and then Jax, and then Sarah, and then Ray. No, come on, write your characters.
Also, that does, to me, make me think they don't trust the intelligence level of their audience.
Yeah.
Do they not believe that the audience knows what an anachronism is?
Yeah, absolutely. We've all played Bioshock Infinite. We know about having modern things in a historical setting, so come on.
I knew what it was.
I loved Upswips. I loved the portrayal of Silicon Valley. It's not too far from the Silicon Valley comedy series anyway. Yes, I agree. It's more intuitive to swipe someone you like up and someone you don't like down. Like, yes, 100% I agree with that.
Yeah, I'm not even sure which is the correct way to swipe people on Tinder. Luckily, I'd met you before I had to resort to Tinder. Am I swiping left or am I swiping right?
This is why we only get dates with horrid people. Because we're swiping the wrong way on. Really quickly, they reframed this series. So this is the third season running where the season has started off like, okay, let's trash everything we've done before and start again. And this time we're starting off with, these guys are a bit crap. Let's laugh at them, undermine our heroes entirely, and then have them flounder around for most of the episode. I didn't find it funny to laugh at them. I didn't find it funny to see her in Bed Bath and Beyond.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. Although I'm kind of a little bit enjoying them being cast as the Bill and Ted of the superhero world.
Yeah.
That's basically what they're doing. They're going, hey, good intention, let's go to the past and do something stupid. You know, that whole leaving the book with Caesar, I mean, really? Rookie time traveller mistake there, dude.
And the explanation of Caesar can speak perfect English, displace aphasia, and then still speaks it when he gets back to ancient Rome. Like, come on.
But do you know what? The more they do that sort of daftness, the more it's actually finding a warm place in my heart of the daft comedy superhero series. I mean, if you're going to be silly, and that is the silliest of the shows.
Yeah.
They're being really silly.
Lean
into it, exactly. I'm laughing now. So,
I really liked our new agent.
Yes.
For the Time Bureau. I am amazed she's not joined the team already.
Yet. That's a yet.
Yeah, they've given her so much character, and she stood up to Sarah, so they will be quite a good foil.
Yeah.
Whilst also not necessarily antagonising each other in the way we've had some characters in the past. Like, I don't understand why these two characters fit together. I can see them actually being good and bringing out the best in each other.
Yeah.
But I feel like that first episode had a moment where they could have done it, so I'm not sure what's coming for this team.
I think they might be being about to be put into timeout from the Time Bureau and have a school prefect sent aboard the ship to stop them from getting into even more trouble.
Yeah,
because that's basically how this is playing out. They are like bottom set of the Time Bureau cadets. And they're about to have they need sort of a chaperone to stop them from being too stupid.
They're resitting year one.
Exactly.
Remedial time crisis.
Yeah. I like this reworking of Rip's character.
Yeah.
Because I feel he lost his way a little bit in the last series.
Yeah.
And he became a little bit pointless in the last series.
Even that first season, I think he was a bit rubbish at times, a bit trying to keep secrets too much. So.
And a bit too close to trying to be a fake Doctor Who.
Yeah.
In the first series.
Absolutely.
This is now a movement again.
Yeah.
I do think we'll see more development in his character as the season goes on. Okay. It feels a little bit like the sensible corporate man is almost like a facade that he's putting over his real self. Because every now and then as the episode went on, I felt like we were getting a little bit of the rebellious Rip Hunter peeking out from the company man facade.
Totally agree.
So my hope is that will carry on, and we'll see more of the school prefect girl. I ought to learn her name next episode.
Sharp, maybe. Don't know. We'll have to look that up. I don't think she was actually named in the episode, or maybe there was a reference of Agent Sharp. Yeah.
But you were saying it was irritated at the Bed Bath and Beyond Sarah.
Yeah.
I found that completely unbelievable.
Yeah.
I cannot believe, she might need a job, but there's absolutely no way that someone with her nature and her characters would have ended up in that job.
Yeah. Am I going to rant about the use of the Romans and Caesar and the Rubicon?
You did while we were watching it.
Yeah. I feel like they know the reference, they don't understand the thing. And the fact that we have Caesar's diary, we know he camped out for days deciding whether to cross the Rubicon or not. He didn't march on the Rubicon planning to cross it, and then they didn't decide just to assassinate him as soon as he got back. There was civil war. They decided to do it because they knew he was going to take over. And anyway, Arrow is the last show that we watched. Arrow 601 Fallout. Well, that was an episode.
Are we really going to bring Thea back from the dead again?
I'm not sure she is dead. I'm not sure she was dead. I'm not sure if they're going to do something of the Lazarus Pit sustains her even when she dies now, maybe? But given the end of the last season was everyone is dead. Everyone is dead, and we're about to find out who has survived or not. But everyone has the potential to be dead, which is made me think like, contract renegotiations. And then no one's dead. In fact, the only person who's dead is the minor character of his son's mother. So
yeah, because I too thought, they're taking the Grey's Anatomy school approach to contract renegotiations. Let's have some unfeasible accident and kill off half of the expensive stars.
Yeah,
but no.
Yeah, I like the way the episode did it to build up. We're mentally ticking people off as the episode goes. He makes a reference to a smartest person. But it's Mr. Fantastic. Curtis. It's been a long time, hasn't it? We've gotten everyone. It's Curtis. So, what's happened to Felicity? And then she rocks up with a big belly burger. So, okay, Felicity's all right, but we haven't seen Theo and we haven't seen a few other people. So, I liked that getting there. But then we got there, and actually, only Theo appears to be injured, and they're not just going to have her lie in a coma to die at some point. So that's going to be a story.
Yeah. I mean, they might just keep sort of almost killing Thea and bringing her back, because the actress that plays Laurel seems to never actually leave the series.
Yes, yeah. She is much better as Black Simon.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Because I never really believed in her as whatever canary she was.
She was Black Canary.
Okay.
She took over from Sarah when Sarah became White Canary and died and stuff.
Right, fair enough.
Comic books. I was puzzled. I was wondering at the end of the previous season how they were going to do the flashbacks, because they'd done 5 years of flashbacks showing Oliver's 5 years on the island, which was a really nice framing thing, and they were obviously going to continue the series, so they'd have to either find a new way of writing that doesn't rely on flashbacks to frame some of these stories, or they'd have to find a new way to do flashbacks, things we hadn't seen, or flashbacks to other characters, a bit like Lost did. And Lost started flashing forward and doing future jumps and flashing backwards to new characters we'd introduced, so that's a nice way of doing it. No, they jumped forward 5 months and then they started flashing back to the 5 months we missed.
Let's see what happens next season.
Yeah. Well, I'm wondering, is this now going to be that every episode we jump forward a month and we have flashbacks to the previous month?
Yeah, it kind of feels like that could be unsustainable. I think what they've done for this season will work for this season, but they're gonna if it gets another season, they're gonna have to think of something else to build this in. But that would be just me. Giving the full disclosure, I didn't watch the second half of both of the last seasons of Arrow because it just disappeared up itself. So I have to watch these ones. So we'll see. I do like Felicity though, and Felicity's dress at that gala or graduation was awesome. I want that dress.
For a show that's supposed to have lots of very smart people, Obvious Map was really obvious. And like had a big video game flashing clue thing around it. So.
If there'd been a big arrow to it and neon lights, it couldn't have been more obvious.
And then, wait, they're setting us up to think it's going to be the thing? Well, yes, because Obvious Map is obvious.
Do they really think that Laurel... they even said before they went to that place, someone as clever as our Laurel would never go back to the same place twice. Right. So someone as clever as their Laurel is not above misleading them.
And Laurel was not the smartest person on the show.
She really wasn't, was she?
Ah, dear. A very interesting twist at the end.
Yes.
I liked the Oliver has now been uncovered as the Green Arrow. This is a good way to go. Particularly because I liked the way during the episode they lent into him being mayor. He is just mayor now. He's actually kind of capable at it. He's surrounded himself with people who know what they're doing, and we're going to move on. And then suddenly they reframe that and go, right, no, we're going to deal with it in a different way. Yeah. I like it.
And I must say, as much as I'm a little rude about Arrow, if I'm honest. I think what they've done with Oliver over Arrow, and maybe last season, this season, I don't know, but what they've done in terms of developing his character and actually turning him to someone that's very capable, is willing and able to lead. Because I think whereas before he might have been able to lead, he didn't necessarily always want to lead.
True, yeah.
Whereas now he's actually stepped up to that responsibility. He seems to be doing the mayor role well. He's leading his team well. He's stepped up to doing his best to be a father. I don't love that storyline, if I'm honest.
No.
But his place in that storyline and the attitude he's taking towards it, I'm like, they've written a nice character development of Oliver Queen into a very capable, very responsible adult. Yeah. And I think that's been very well done.
Yeah, he feels very much like what the Green Arrow becomes, again, in comics and other media. He's the one who is a bit outside of things like the Justice League. One of the origin stories for the Justice League is that he is secretly financing them. And they don't want him on the team because they think he's a bit rubbish, but actually he's the one helping them do good. Because he knows how to pull things and he's actually a bit with it. So
yeah, I can see that.
I will like the Sun storyline if it comes to something, not necessarily the Sun being in trouble or being a drag on his life. If it's constantly, I've got to get home to take him to school, I've got to get home to take him to a baseball match, that won't be interesting. If it becomes he's the junior recruit or something, I'll enjoy it a bit more, I think.
Yeah, so. I think he's a little bit too young for that at the moment.
Maybe.
But I don't know.
We shall see.
I am also now totally over Oliver and Felicity faffing around with their romance. They either need to be together or not be together. I don't particularly want to spend another season watching them circle around each other.
True, yeah. They had a very good heart-to-heart towards the end of the last season.
Which I didn't watch.
Other things were something to something as well. But then they had a heart-to-heart and did decide that they loved each other, but she wasn't sure she could be with him, I think. So I think they are moving past that and starting to rebuild a relationship. Maybe.
Okay.
So, and the other twist was mysterious person picking up Black Siren in the flashbacks.
So he?
Yeah, that's the most mysterious of the villains they've introduced. We've actively seen the new villains a bit in Supergirl and Flash. We had a reference to Mollis, I don't know, in Legends. And in Arrow we had a hand lifting them. So all of the series are introducing new long-term villains, but only giving us little bits to greater or lesser amounts, I think.
Do we think that hand at the end of Arrow was someone new, or someone we'd seen before but they're not ready to reveal yet?
I don't know. There is the possibility it's Malcolm Merlin, because we don't know what happened to him. He exploded while standing on top of a mine off-screen. So people have survived worse in this show. It could be Deathstroke, but not likely given what they're doing with him.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it's going to be Damien Dark. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure I'm ready to make a decision because that is so mysterious.
Yeah.
So, all 4 shows were on this week. It was the season premieres. Do you have a favourite episode? Do you think one of them was better than the rest?
Okay, if I was pinned down and forced to choose one of the 4, I would choose Supergirl because of the second half.
Okay.
I very much enjoyed, or I have a memory of very much enjoying the second half of Supergirl.
Okay. But that sounds like maybe it scored a 6 where everything else scored a 4 or 5 maybe.
Yes.
Not good.
Possibly. Maybe a 5. I'm not saying any of them were actively bad.
Right.
But there was none of them had me sitting on the edge of my seat going, "Oh my god, this is awesome!" So, yeah.
Outside of the best episode, who do you think had the best week? Any characters that particularly came out strong, that you were pleased to see them and pleased either what they did or what the writers did with them?
Well, I suppose I've got 2 best character things. The best new character, School Prefect in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
Character that had the best week, Alex in Supergirl, I think.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I was leaning towards Johns, the Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
But except for when she went to him and she talked about wanting her father at the wedding, I had a moment of, is she going to ask him to pretend to be her father at the wedding? Like, she didn't, so it's not as weird as I thought it was, but it's still a little strange asking him to walk her down the aisle, given she has family.
Yeah, I agree. I thought it was a little bit of lazy writing to go for a replacement father figure, rather than going, hey, I've got a really close best friend stroke sister.
Yeah.
Or
a mother,
or do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I kind of get it, but I also kind of think there were other choices there.
Yeah, I agree. No one from Arrow or Flash then standing out? I don't think so, but
no.
Thea gave a great performance this week. Well done, Thea. On a bed, tubes on her nose.
Yeah. No.
And for worst of the week, I'm probably putting Quentin. Lance. Laurel's dad.
Oh, yeah.
Because he is actively impaired when it comes to them, but keeps asking to be involved, and they keep involving him. Like, no, you should be saying, no, you need to sit this one out. We cannot trust your decision-making. It is for your own good.
Yeah.
Given the turmoil he's going through. And then have him showing up and doing the right thing and saving the day, but
also, have none of them learned that lies and secrets in TV shows lead to bad results?
Yeah. Well, no, this is the CW, so let's just,
Sorry. Forced drama through secrets and lies.
Is there anything we think is coming that we're looking forward to, particularly, either resolutions or introductions?
So, Supergirl, I am looking forward to the dream sequences and real life starting to meld into one, because I think there's going to be something that brings Mon-El and her parents and that side of it that she's clearly yearning for. I think that's going to come crashing into the series at some point.
Yeah. Okay. You made me think, the way they used Mon-El in Supergirl, that's how I expected they used Barry.
Yeah. Dream
sequences, imaginary things, you maybe setting up a hologram, that kind of thing. I didn't expect him to come back that quickly. That was, Take on.
I also, like, talking about Barry, I my note about Barry is WTF will happen with B. Don't trust the happy.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, absolutely. What was the phrase? This house is bitchin'?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm interested to something about that. There's a code in there or something.
I will be disappointed if that doesn't come back.
It's just a gag.
Have a later beat. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see. Is she called Amaya, the weird animal lady in Legends? I quite like the sort of the slightly dark, superpowered Amaya that emerged at the end. Because quite frankly, she's been rubbish in the past.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see more of her in this slight rewrite of her character as well.
Because I seem to remember her power set being she could channel an animal or an animal's aspect, but not necessarily imagine the animal to go and attack people.
So maybe they've superpowered her. Maybe she's got enough XP points to get superpower animal eyes. I don't know.
She was in the new outfit that you get when you level up to priestess.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cool. So I think we're wrapping up for this week.
Yep.
If you have thoughts, questions or comments, you can use the hashtag ATAV on Twitter or find us on Facebook, Instagram or Twitter as Eloquent Gushing. If you want to help support us, please check out the Patreon page where you can get access to exclusive content across all our shows. Go to patreon.com/eloquentgushing and visit the homepage to sign up for the weekly newsletter about the goings-on across all our shows. That's eloquentgushing.com. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you across the Arrowverse.
Bye.
Across the Arrowverse is an Eloquent Gushing production. For more shows you'll love, please visit eloquentgushing.com.